interessante topic vanaand. Moet Cyril gaan of moet Cyril bly? As 'n question wat almal die weekend gevra het of wat baie mense wil geantwoord het. I don't know if you guys remember a few years, the first time when you saw Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki, when he had to resign that night, he had to resign. Daar was hy nog gewis van oor staan nie. He had to step down and then Jacob Zuma took over. And I think the exact same way how Thabo Mbeki went out, that's the exact same way how what's his name, Jacob Zuma went out. And many years later, a few years later down the line, people are calling for Cyril Ramaphosa as well. Even Jacob Zuma has called for him. I said earlier on the radio station on Radio Cape Flats Stories, I've said that Thabo Mbeki said over the weekend in a conversation with the media, he actually mentioned there that the comrades must stop saying we can do the work, we can do the job, give the job to us, give it to us, we can do it. Are you qualified to do it? Was the question that Thabo Mbeki asked. Can you do the job? Do you have experience? And I think the whole conversation over the weekend with Thabo Mbeki was the corruption in the ANC and what's currently going wrong there. And I think that many people feel the same. People are despondent. People are disappointed in what's currently happening. I mean, load shedding, many people are down. They can't be on Facebook or wherever because of load shedding. Some people couldn't go and work today because of load shedding. Over the weekend, people couldn't work. The state this country is in a big mess, and people are calling for Cyril Ramaphosa's head. But is that going to fix the problem? Firing or replacing Cyril Ramaphosa, will that fix the problem? Welcome and give me your answer. I would like you to interact with me. Good evening, Sean. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. Jesse, hope you're well. Hope you're good. Dankie dat julle so. Julle twee is baie loyal followers. Thank you, Sean and Jesse. Oh, I will always see you on a Monday night. So thank you so much for always tuning in. The question is tonight: must Cyril go or must he stay? And my personal opinion is very simple. It's very, 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 very simple. If we're gonna fire Cyril Ramaphosa or if we're gonna replace him, I just want to mute this thing quickly. If we're gonna replace him, we're still gonna have the same comrades in parliament, in government, representing us. So we're gonna have the same problem. So it doesn't matter if we're gonna replace him. We're still gonna have the same problem. I think it's a good time for us to sit down around the table. It's a good time for us to discuss this matter. How are we gonna fix this country? We need to look at things like going forward, our police system, our justice system is a big mess. And how do we fix that? It has now been years that our police are underperforming due to lack of resources because of lack of management. A good example is Eskom as well. Another good example is Eskom as well. Eskom has been performing because of lack of management. And I also think it as a sprisman, the government as a spris. Other thing is this SASSA, not SASSA, SAA. It is a big problem for us. SAA hasn't been functioning. All these state owned enterprises has been used to empower the comrades in the background. There's guys in the background, they do nothing and get money. While the company is running itself into the ground, they are getting money for doing nothing. It's actually daylight robbery. So that's the topic over the weekend. I've read somewhere also that even the deputy president said that we need to replace Cyril Ramaphosa. Jacob Zuma said straight, Cyril Ramaphosa must go to prison for treason. Jacob Zuma said Cyril Ramaphosa must go to prison. So that is other levels, But what does it mean for us as local South Africans? Man, to me, it means nothing. It means nothing. It just means that if Cyril must go, it just means that somebody else will take over and the whole process will go on. how do we fix this mess that we're in? This is every Monday night's conversation. We are chasing our investors away. We are closing the companies that is working, that has been working. We're running into the ground. The post office. Ah, the post office. Where where I really vereer me for the post office. I've got friends overseas and they always send me stuff, books and things and so on. And it's quite more expensive if you must do it the private way. And we did an experiment on two occasions where they sent me books from South Carolina. And the other friend of mine sent me something from Croatia. Both parcels took me, I'm not talking about 2018, I think it was 2018, 2019. Both parcels took me at least 6 months to get here. Every time if you call, and even when the parcels were in South Africa, you had to wait for the post office because if they were not striking, they closed because they didn't pay the bills. And I think our post office is a big mess as well. And that messes actually with us, the citizens, because people still make use of post-its. People still post stuff. People still make use of the services. So it's as 'n hele incompetent ding wat gebeur in die agtergrond en I want to hear from you guys what is the way forward. Sean says here we need a new president. I agree with you. I think we need a whole party soon. I don't know how you feel about that. Vincent also says here ANC must go. And I think that's how many of us are feeling. Jesse says here, if he goes, the ANC falls faster. Jesse, I think another thing that I want to just, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but remember when Jacob Zuma took over, when Jacob Zuma was in charge, he had his people. So I still think there's the Jacob Zuma fragment, there's the Thabo Mbeki fragment, and there's also the Cyril Ramaphosa fragment. And these guys are fighting amongst each other. And eventually, if Cyril must go, it just means that the ANC will split. If Cyril goes, that to me personally means the ANC will split. There will be no more ANC, and the ANC will then be smaller parties, making it easy. And I think that is what we need to pray for. But also, what we need to pray for, what we need to hope for, is finding a party that is competent, a party that is ready to take this country forward. I've seen an article today or a live video where one of the ladies, I think she was a DA member back a few months ago or years ago, and she's also now the chairperson for Action SA in Cape Town, in the Western Cape. So I think the Western Cape might grow a bit faster when it comes to Action SA because I think this lady, just reading up and following her, I think Action SA might also become competition. We need competition. Some people say that, yeah, coalition is not going to work. You must vote for this party. I feel that because of voting for one party all these years, we have been led astray. We've been disappointed. I think there need to be parties that is governing, but proper parties that have the people at heart. I think people will not easily trust big parties again. I don't think people will trust the ANC soon again. ANC has lost a lot of votes, but I think splitting up might just mean that it might be in our favor. It means that some other party may take over. So if they do take Cyril away, it might just mean that Cyril will maybe be the end of the ANC. ANC has lost a lot of voters already, and I think that is the main concern of the ANC is to make sure they play this game very well. If they lose Cyril, you must believe it. There's a lot of people that are still very much for Cyril because Cyril was amper soos Nelson Mandela's regterman het sy gewees back in the day. Did a lot of things with Nelson Mandela. Many people say he and Nelson Mandela sold out to people. We all have our own opinion. But yeah, they are so, let me just check quickly here. Jesse says here, I'm not going to be long. I know it's load shedding, so I'll be another 15 more minutes. 7. Please do send me your questions. If you don't want to send it here and you want to be anonymous, send it to 066 066 and I'll read it for the people and share your opinion. They are so incompetent, but they strike for more benefits. And that is true, Jesse. Let's just go here quickly. Staying with respect, Cyril, in the entire ANC must. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to read that part. We had enough, JD. I think that is, yes, that is the problem that people want him to go. Not the problem, but I think that is everybody's wish. We want to see a better 2024. We want a better future. We want people to start investing back into this country. People must, create jobs. I think, as I said it earlier on, we still have almost more than 40% young people that's unemployed. Our unemployment rate is so high at this day and age that when you finish school, you sit at home. Some people don't have funding, no money. Everybody's situation is different. But I think the unemployment rate is actually catching us. A lot of people are also, we've lost a lot of skills to overseas countries. I think we're going to lose more. And we need to be honest, under the ANC's watch, things will not get better. And as you have now already know, I am anti-ANC for the mere fact that they've lied to us, for the mere fact that we can see in today's day and age. And we need to stop this thing where we have, indoctrinate people. If the ANC don't take over, the white men will take over. We must have this thing going around here. As Witman oorvuldig is weer 'n apartheid. We can't bring apartheid back, but we need competent people, irrespective of their race. If we get a competent black party, yes, a black leader, a competent colored leader, competent white leader, a competent Indian leader. It's not about race anymore. It shouldn't be about race, but it should be, can this man do the job? Can this woman do the job? And ons moet nie vroumense buite onderskat nie. There's a lot of women that's capable of running for president as well. So there might be just a next female president. I think in the history of Africa, it might be a good thing. But it must be somebody that's competent. I just want to read some of your comments. Theodore Goliath says here, you can't put a plaster on the wound of state capture. State capture is treason, while BE and cadre deployment is still hanging. State capture is alive. We need to a referendum. The ANC is destroying this country. Salute. And I agree with you. The ANC is destroying this country. There's nothing left of this country if we're going to allow them another 5. Just think about it. For 5 more years, we will have load shedding. For 5 more years, we will have, a justice system that fails us. So we need to act urgently. We as people, we can do that. We need to get our people to vote, and we need to keep an eye. We need to have a body that will represent the people of South Africa. If the ANC or whichever party want to play for, we need to be prepared for that, because we've seen what happened in Zimbabwe over the years. People voted for the other party, but one person won every time. So we need to be very careful of unfair spiel, But I think it's time for us. We need change ASAP. Our young people are not working. Cyril promised that he will create jobs. There was no jobs. I can't see any jobs that has been created under his watch. There's more people that died. The crime is out of control. And it's everyday thing. Every day people are dying, not only on the Cape Flats, but also in the rest of South Africa. And we need competent people, that can do the job. I'm not good at something, then I'm not going to do the job, because the problem for me is I'm maybe going to say, okay, I want to be the premier of the Western Cape, but not maybe premium quality. We need people that can put in the time and put in the effort and can do the job. That is what we need. We need workers and those people that can do it. Let me just go to Jesse's comment here. I don't think there will be one party that will take over, and I agree with you. Religions are the future, and somehow they have to work together. I think that is the future, Jesse. I think that is going to be the future, and we're going to have to make sure that that we get these people to work together and that they can work in unison. I think that's the main problem there, is to work. So yeah, I just want to read the next comment here quickly. The next comment is the comment of Muhammad. Elke Jan skrap vir politician wees. We need people servant, public servants, um, not politicians. Kyk na die aandroggels in government, die hele whole happy, lot of them, die goed is op swel, hulle dink hulle is onze baas. En jy is dood recht daar so, Mohammed, because they become superstars. They serve the people as the people pay their salaries. Then we will get somewhere. The food is allemaal dieselfde. And I agree with you. Like I said, people think ek gooi skim, ek gooi nie skim nie. All I'm saying is that we need to look at people that can do the job. We didn't vote for you to be a superstar. We didn't vote for you to be a rapper. We didn't vote for you to be a singer. We voted for you to be a public servant, to look after our needs as the citizens of South Africa, Cape Town, and the rest of the province. And I feel that politicians make empty promises, and we know that. And for that reason, we need people that's competent. I'm not no, ward councillors. I'm not no, um, you know, MMCs. You don't even have to study anymore. And I think we need people that can do the job, but also qualified. Yes, I know many people will say, but the Bible says God qualifies the unqualified. But I think we also have the opportunity before we go into power to prepare ourselves to make sure that we are good at what we're going to do. You can't become a politician and, let's say, specialize in water and sanitation, and then you learn on the job. I think it's a good thing if you start by doing your education, educating yourself. So when you do get to parliament, then you have enough time to use your qualifications and to grow in that experience. So to come back to your answers here is that we need to look at how are we gonna, political party, that individuals that are leading those parties to lead us further. Because let me tell you something, taking over this country doesn't mean, I've asked many people on this platform and I ask him, how are you going to create jobs? No, I'm going to create jobs. Then you ask them, what is your plan of action? No, when we get into party, we're going to create jobs. You need to have a strategy. You need to be strategically prepared for what's going to happen. If you take over, how are you going to get funding? What are you going to do? You need to, one of the things is that you can't just say, I'm going to create jobs. Everybody can say it. We need people that can deliver exactly what Sean is saying here. We need people that can deliver. Service delivery is key. Can our people deliver? Will our people be able to deliver? It's nothing voting for a party, but personally, I've experienced a lot of things. I've done a lot of things with my organization, with people with me. So it's easy to say things. It's easy to do things, but to implement it, it's another. It's another avenue. Sean says so. Let me just read this quickly. Give Clayton McKenzie a chance to show what he's made of. Stan hier nie krag weg nie. Let me just go here quickly. Ek het reg gelees. Bernard says here, what did we expect? We cried for the NNP to go, but that time we didn't know who is competent enough to take over. Bernard, and I think that was the expensive lesson that we've learned. We've learned this lesson as a dier les wat ons geleer het. I think we wanted the NNP to go because we didn't want to go to Swartes daar, Coloureds daar, Switters daar. We wanted that apartheid system to go. And we were desperate. We were desperate to get rid of apartheid. And for that reason, we selected the ANC. At the time, they looked fit. They looked like the ones that were, because they were fighting. They were fighting with us. They were amongst us. They were just like us, living in the same neighborhoods as us. And we believed the ANC, and for that reason, we voted for them. My word, more than almost 30 years later, we have made a mistake, an epic mistake by voting for them. So this is also a good thing that I want to say. We have more parties. There's more active people out there. Look at those people available. Your vote is your secret, yes, but also we need to be honest. Who is working, who's putting in the job, who's putting in the time. Not time. You know what? Let me tell you something. There's certain things that people can create themselves. We can start WhatsApp groups and and start sending out, this vacancy is available and that vacancy is available. As people, we need political parties to come up with initiatives, with ideas. How do we change neighborhoods? How do we build something? This is my next question. That will be my question for 2023 and 2024 when I do interview these politicians. What have you built? Wat het jy gebou wat nog staan? Because many of them build something for that duration of 3 months or 4 months, and then it falls apart, and then they forget about it. We need to look at the track records of politicians. What have they built? What are they busy with? And what are they doing? So yeah, I just want to go here to Melanie. Melanie says, Magdalene, sorry. I've been following Gaetan. He's impressive. He's in his action. He speaks louder than words. And I think it's good that you guys are out there looking, studying. It's your as your keuse, man. Your keuse, but you need to make sure that you educate yourself. You need to make sure that you know what's happening out there. It is your plig om seker te maak dat jy weet wie jy gaan vote for 2024. You can't sit every day and complain, but you don't do your homework. And also, follow people, not only on Facebook, follow them also, the actions that they do. Go to the political meetings. Go listen to how they speak, how they represent themselves. Look at how they act amongst other peers and people. It is important for us to make sure that these people that we vote for are the right people. Let's just quickly here. Unfortunately, the people with the loudest mouths become councillors if you can do the job or not. And I think that was a lesson for us also in 2023 was the problem. And I think that is a legislation that we need to look at as, I don't know who's going to look at it, but to put it out there, people at least need to have a qualification. You need to at least have a qualification if you're going to lead a country. You can't, and don't understand me wrong, but you can't be a standard 8, have a standard 8 certificate, right? Run this country, lead people with doctorates, lead people with BA degrees, lead people with, BCom degrees. Those people are experts in the field, and they're going to expect of you to deliver a certain result. And I think that is the problem that we have. We need people that themselves know what they're talking about. A president that actually, back then, the USA, that actually impressed me, he knew what he spoke about. But I think it made it difficult for him also, Barack Obama. I think they made it very difficult for him because he was a black president in a country where there was only white presidents. So he was the first black president. And I think he knew what he spoke about. He was very much clued up. And I think we need young people with education, young people. And also we, as the citizens of South Africa, some of us have a hard time because we are looking for stupid stuff, man. We also need to educate ourselves on what we need to ask, what we can expect. Because ons wil sommer hê nou die hood councillors moet ons 'n maas begrawe, moet die pastoor wees, en moet ons 'n kinders inseën. We need to know the roles also of these politicians. We as people need to have a professional relationship with these politicians. They are public servants, Yes, some of them are our friends, but when it comes to service delivery, we need to make it very clear that you deliver service before anything else. There's no friendship, nothing. And I think we need to be, come to a point that we need to ask for professional people to lead this country, people that are capable. At the moment, we have people at 72, 73, 74, 65, 67. It is in cabinet. It is decision makers. That's people that's supposed to spend time with the grandchildren. So that is the problem that we currently have. How many have degrees in economics and politics? Good Kenneth slogans and t-shirts, Mr. Stan. But that's the thing. I can't speak about economics. Ek kan miskien met julle praat oor IT, ek kan miskien oor IT, that's my field of expertise. But I can't speak to you on economics or political science. I've got friends that are, and it also doesn't mean, my father was a builder. Well, he's still a builder, and one day this guy came and he said, but he is he's a place the man. And he came to my father asked him, can you place the man? I said, yeah, I can place it. Geplace it daar en daar. En my pa gee vir my troffel. Dink ek wat hy vashou. En die man pleiste. My pa gee net so 2 keer die way dit aansmeer. En my pa sê vir my nie, hy sê pleiste man nie. Hy sê traaitjie. Sy het langs in 'n pleiste man gesit of met enige like bly and so on. And I think that is the thing, is that it doesn't mean that we sit with politicians, we are politicians ourselves, or we are experts. We need to get to a point where we study these things. It needs to become, we need to research things. And for that reason, we need to become qualified. But the question is still, I have 5 minutes left and I'm going to cut off. Must Cyril go or must Cyril stay? And if Cyril must go, remember the ANC is still in charge until the next elections. Who is the right candidate for the president? Who should be our next president? It looks to me as if everybody's speaking against him. Cyril moet liever still quite document as hy gaan lang bly, but this is exactly how it is with Thabo Mbeki. This is exactly what happened to Jacob Zuma, and I think the same will happen Cyril as well in the next couple of hours, or next couple of days, or weeks, or months. How many have degrees in economics? Okay, dan hy het sy gelees. Die sê so, hy staan, ons arme oorlede maas en baie lank in lyke is later wil ons na World Council soek, hulle skare soos hoenders katana. And I think that is the issue. World councillors, some of them got the jobs and now they're missing. Some of the councillors are now just all of a sudden they're gone. And I think that is our biggest concern, is our biggest worries. Who's going to serve us? Who's going to serve us now? Peter says here, we have a parliament full of dinosaurs, pensioners that can't think literally no more. And I think that's the problem. It's people that is supposed to late in the morning, people that's supposed to be at home. We must stop this thing where people get a good salary and they live a life of benefits. We need to change that. Our people need to vote people into place that can take this country further. We are in such a mess. If things don't change for the next elections, we can't go on like this for the next 5 years. We can't go on like this. So that's why I said, like I said earlier on, maybe it's a good thing if Cyril Ramaphosa, if they're going to fire him, as per Jacob Zuma, the ministers, as well as Thabo Mbeki and the deputy president. It might just mean that it will bring a friction in the ANC, and the ANC might just be on the last straw. So that is what we hope for. Maybe it's God's way of saying, okay, I'm going to help you guys out. Let's create friction in the ANC and get Cyril Ramaphosa fired. Let's just check here quickly. We have okay, it's like I say. But I think, to come to an end, I'm just going to be on for 30 minutes. I've changed my slots from 5 to 7 in because of load shedding. So I want to say thank you to you guys for tuning in. Those guys that were part of the conversation. My question is, and we need to have the serious conversation next week. Who do we vote for? And I would like to have some of you guys in the studio if you're available. I would like to have our people with me in the studio and we can talk about this around the table. Let me know next week. I would like to have you here. Who do we vote for? And who would be the best party to take this country further? Now, you must remember this. It's very important for you to remember this. Many people are brilliant workers now. If you call them, they come out and they listen to you, they help you. But the game sadly changes once they get into power. Once they get into power, they actually forget about us. I mean, I've spoken to some of the parties you've mentioned here, some of the people. Some of them have messaged last year. Some of them haven't come back to me. I've messaged them this year. So we also need to be very careful. We must ask for wisdom and for God to help us. That when we do vote for these people, that they will have that, a responsibility om terug te kunnen ons toe. Because how people are dying. The first thing that needs to change in the justice system. And then we need to look at employment. How are we going to employ people? Then we need to look at our school systems. Man, Cape Town is still a mess, and we can say what we want. The Cape Flats still have that ratio. Well, Councillor Elton Jensen said it's not local government's job to build schools; it's national government's job to build schools. So if national government don't build schools, then local government will build schools. That's what Elton Jensen said because that's according to the rules and the regulations and the law. So this is what I want to say. We need to find a government that's willing to build schools. We need to build more schools. And with that, we need to build more prisons as well. Because a lot of the people in the community, don't deserve to be out here. We're living amongst criminals that are supposed to be in prison. We're going to have to fix our communities. We're going to have to build more schools, maybe more prisons. I mean, we have prisons where the cells is, people, lay op koppe. So, how are people being transformed, rehabilitated if they are living 30, 40 people in one small room? So we need to look at that. And then also, yeah, Jesse mentioned the land is a major issue. We need land to build houses. So we need to look at that as well. So whoever takes over, and I'm very excited. It's built a vibe about this that the party will take over, and that the right party will lead us forward. And I feel that things will definitely change if we have the right. Just the last question from Peter. Tribalism is what caused all of this, and what Jacob Zuma stating that Cyril committed treason. What have the whole cabal of them do for our community? They've done nothing. They've spent unnecessary money. I mean, we don't even have proper police systems anymore or defense forces anymore because that's what the ANC did. So yeah, land. That's exactly what I just mentioned now. Jesse, if you want to join me next week in the studio, please come and join me. I would like to have you guys in the studio with me. A nice table here in the studio. My show is from 5 to 8 Mondays afternoons. Come and join me. Let's talk about this. Let's take the matter further. Anybody's welcome. Just let me know beforehand. We are in Strandfontein. If you guys want to join, let's have the conversation next week, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's almost load shedding time. Take care, be safe, lock up, and make sure that you are safe out there. Cheers, guys. Bye.